Welcome back everyone to the channel and welcome back to Terminus Zombie Survivors. Now in the last episode we did the first attempt at a passive run to get to Terminus and unfortunately it didn't go out too well for us. So we're going to be trying the same run again. This is my second official attempt. I'm going to use all the same conditions as before and we're going to be using the soldier. Just in case you're not aware, we can't kill anybody, but we can maim the zombies. That's why you want to have a strong attacker. So we can take the legs out, we can take the body out. If you take the body out, they can't attack. If you take the legs out, the majority of the zombies, it will take it down to one tile. There's a couple of zombies it won't cut down the movement that much. It cuts it down a bit. Being able to be strong to take out legs and to bodies is going to be crucial. We're going to be using Stanley the Soldier. I'm going to put 3 into observation, because the observation is very important for the traits I've gone with. So the first trait, allow you to know in advance what items are there before searching. So as long as I get visible sight of an item, I can tell what's in there without spending the AP. Because normally you'd have about 10 items on a normal house and probably about 15 on a special tile. Each one of them takes 2 AP at the start to search, and on top of that you've got your AP move cost to get to them. If I know there's nothing going to be in there, I can make the run fairly fast. Should speed up the run, that's the old purpose of that one. Quiet. When you're inside a building at night, zombies won't notice you. If they don't see you entering a room, then you can get away with it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I have tried this run a few times, come close a few times, but it is a really tough one. Going with the vegetarian trait, if we can find any sort of crops and vegetables, it's going to give us morale back. There's nothing else in the 3-point skill range that's worth it, and I think this is the best setup for this run. I'm going to be doing ton Apocalypse and I'm going to be doing ton Permadeath, and the scenario we're going to be doing is out of stock. So what does out of stock do? 90% of furniture in special places except for houses is empty. I'm not joking. You can go onto special tiles and you'll never find anything there. Now if it's got a car, normally it's got items in there, and you do have to spend to search. Your clairvoyance doesn't work on that. Most doors and windows in special places have been broken. That means sleeping at a special place is not going to be an option 90% of the time. Very tough conditions, and the only good side of it is 10% increased loot in houses. You don't really notice that, it's not that great. Being able to see what's in the items allows me to speed up the run, basically run through areas that's not an house. Try and avoid them when we can. So yeah, I'm happy with all them settings. Let's get started on this run. I feel this is going to be the one that's going to succeed. I have tried this run probably over 10 times now. I've got to the tile before Terminus on 2 occasions, and I've got towards the north. Now this out of stock scenario seems to be bugged, because on day 3 I am coming across tiles with 15 zombies on there. You don't normally see that. So there's definitely something with this setup I've got on with this run that's making the zones a lot tougher than they should be. Now I am used to playing on a Permadeath and Apocalypse. The last 100 hours I've put into this game have been on them settings. So again, I have sort of got used to what should be on the tiles, and having 15 zombies on a tile on day 3 when it's nowhere near a dangerous place shouldn't be happening. So it's making this run a lot tougher than it needs to be. But if you want to copy this run, I'd recommend you just drop it down to hard or down to normal. It will definitely make it a lot easier. Doing it on Permadeath and doing it on Apocalypse is definitely a bit of a tough one. So let's see what clairvoyance do. At the moment, my vision, I can see 3 items. So it's telling me there's a book and a lantern in there. Now, having a torch or some sort of light source will allow us to do night combat until we can get cat eye skill. So those all we want to be picking up. Tote bag, sweater, crafting book. Now that crafting book could be for the hammer. We don't know. We don't have the hammer at the start of the game to craft. So again, if we see a craft book, we do need to be getting it. And a bag is very nice. And leather gloves and a windbreaker. So everything in this room I need to pick up, and I need to pick up planks. Now the one thing I did forget to mention, I will be doing this solo. We don't need to kill survivors like we did in the last one, but I won't be taking any more survivors. The reason is because of this quiet trait. I think that if I pick up any survivors, I feel that this trait's not going to work. Like I said, sometimes it doesn't work as it is, but I feel like it will never work. If I don't win this one in the next couple of runs, then I might go and do a dual run. Want to pick up everything. Unfortunately, no charges on that, but I can break it down. Fast Learner book is a nice book. Like I said, I would have done anything to get a Cat Eyes book. So we picked up quite a bit of items. So the first thing, let me put a shoulder bag on. And I want to put this on. The reason being is good to get a little bit of defense on there. It's very hard sometimes to ignore all the zombies on the map. And sometimes you will get it. But as long as you can survive the hits, it's fine. Crude arrows I don't need. Small flashlight might be useful. But I think it will take too much steel to craft one of them. And crank generator I don't need. So if I do that recipe, I think the only skill on there that's going to be useful to me is the second one. So I'll just carry it at the moment. There's going to be normally 2 rooms, so I'm guessing that's going to be another room at the top. We have found a zombie and we found a stone. You wouldn't believe how hard stones are to find on maps these days. And if you look at the crafting, the only hammer I've got access to is a stone hammer, and it needs 3 stones. That's the only way I have got at the moment, unless I get extremely lucky finding an hammer of repairing doors and windows. And that would be the only way you could actually sleep at a special tile, like a library. All my usual tricks, like go to a library for books, go to the electronic store to get a radio to find out where Terminus is, go to a police station for ammo and guns, go into the fire station for fire axes, isn't guaranteed to work. You've got like 1 in 10 items are going to be blank, and then you might find 1 item in one of them. So very, very tough conditions, but you do know me, I do like my challenge runs. I can't do much more because I've not got much AP, so I don't want to be going for this door. I do want to go down and collect that stone before we leave this tile. So now I've got a good amount of AP. Did we pick up any food? We didn't. The other thing we need to be doing is picking up other weapons, because that knife is very crucial for crafting spears. Now, we do have a 0 dexterity, but we can make a spear and it will have maybe 8-9 hits on there, possibly 10 if we're lucky. Let's just move into the tile just so I can get visibility. There's a plank of wood there, so I'm going to get it, whatever. But there's some food. Very nice. So worth spending the AP. Food and water is always going to be your problems, but one of the biggest problems you have with this run is a street map. If you can find a street map early, it puts you in a good place. Not guaranteed to win. In all these runs I've done, I've never been able to get a car running. And like I said, this is like my 10th time of trying this scenario. It's not for the faint-hearted. So my best situation would probably be get down to that window for 3.1. Are we going to overcap? We aren't. We can use that. That will give us morale. And we did pick up water, which was fantastic. And we use that the next time we need some morale. Now, I could have kept that onion and crafted it with something else and made a good meal, but to do any crafting, I need a light and sauce, and I also need a pot or a pan. Chances of finding them all in the same zone are very remote. So, yeah, let's get some AP back. We'll waste 0.1, but I'm happy with that. We do have to be careful because every time we go in and out of these, we have a chance of getting sprains. So look at the map. Okay, dangerous places separated. Normally you would want them all together and then try and avoid them, but that's not too bad. There is a good movement down the centre, so my ideal solution would be probably go right, then go left up into the centre. But going left and going right will work it, but there is closer, so some of these tiles I'll have to go to would be very close to dangerous zones. So currently we do have an access to down to the bottom, so we've got nothing north, so we do need to get something north. So all these zombies have seen me, so they'll all head up this way. And I also want to check there isn't cars, because cars can have really good loot in them. I've got 8.3, so I've got more than enough to go here and react. And I do want to go to that corner, but I'll wait till I get some AP. Cars and crops, again, very good things for this run. And I've got enough to go straight back to the zone point. So we actually got 2 zone points. I've chose this one just by randomly. It doesn't really matter which one I would have gone to. This one is closer to the dangerous zone, but we're still a good 3 tiles away. But that street map, not knowing what you're going into, makes a massive difference. The best person for this run would be a driver. They would be able to know exactly where the houses are. It would negate some of the problems you have in the early game. But again, I do like my challenges. So we did do everything on this zone, yes. So we got another house, that's good for us. There's a lantern next to me, so I am going to go and pick it. Maybe there's some charge in this, no. So we've got 2 lanterns. One's broken. The broken one's just no use. I'll break it down tonight. I don't need to break it down yet. I don't need to go out my way for sticks with this one. We're not making flags. And I do have 9 AP, so I am willing to make a move. Let's go there. Okay, fairly quiet at the moment. I'm happy with that. We've got a zone point out to the left. So that might be the way I'm going up there. But I want to explore this zone. We'll be on 17.1 next turn, so that's fine. Do we have enough to use that bread? Yeah, that's fine. Let's keep up our water. Normally I would just save loads and loads of bottles. If I can save about 6 bottles, that's about 6 days. That's more than enough to do this run. If I ever find a park, that is. So what have we got? A book and a crafting recipe. Like I said, we need to find the ammo recipe. It would really help us out. Crude arrow, snare trap, flashlight. Not really that good. An edge strike. No good for this run. So in that one, I could just drop the edge strike, but it could be used for trading. That's the only reason I'm picking them up at the moment. I didn't actually look what was in there, but it had some good items. Still is very good. If I can find an axe, I'll be able to take down fridges and stuff in the kitchens. That will get me metal sheets, and then I can break the metal sheets down into scrap steel. But again, finding an hammer isn't guaranteed. There's pliers in there, which I will go after. If we get stuck on a railway tile, pliers, it takes 2 AP to get through a wire fence. If I jump over it, it's 11.5 with a chance of spraying. And it does seem to be a fairly high chance of a spraying as well. What's over there? A cardigan. We've already got 2 pieces of clothing. It would be something I can break down to rags, because that's going to be a problem in this run. Because we're not killing zombies. We're only avoiding them or maiming them. We don't get that many rags. So breaking down clothes is a good source of that. But I don't think I want to go out my way just for that. I've got 4.8. I'm going to come down to the door. There's another stone there. We've got lucky with this. I will be collecting that on the way out. Now, we have got another zone point now. That one goes further north, so I am going to be taking that one up the top there, because I can pick up the stone at the same time. Let's come here just so I can get some visibility, and let's move there. So what have we got? Clean water, definitely good. Clean water. So both those I need to search. Just looking, there's a zombie up the north. I don't think there's ever going to be a car in that small space there. There could potentially be crops. It's not a full bottle of water, but it's still a good amount in there. And that's a full bottle. That's very nice. So we're doing pretty good with water at the moment. So we've got 2 full bottles up there. That's 20 hours each. That's 40 hours. And we've got 6 hours in there, because you use 1 hydration per hour in the game. So I've got 2 days of water. That's very, very nice. We just need to find some food now. We'll keep the energy drugs in case we need to be on a tile where we can't afford to sleep. We can use the pliers as weapons as well. So yeah, we're okay. So those 2 have been done. And those have been done. So all we need to do is pick up that stone and get off the map. Now 3.4 to there, and then I would have to spend another 2.8. So I'd have to spend 6, open up the window, 7. It all depends on where that zombie goes. If push comes to shove, I'll come up the left-hand side. But either way, we need AP before we do anything. And I think I will go up the left-hand side. That's a good call. They've seen me in here, so they will come down fighting. Well, neither one can get to the zone point. If I go there for 3.3, I can get to the zone point. Nobody can get to me. So that was a good call. We've checked up here. There's no crops. There's no cars. We need AP. So we'll be on about 14 next turn. Because this run we're going to continue moving north, we won't be setting up any bases in this one. The next one I'm going to plan to do, I will be doing bases. Because that guy was going to hit us if we stayed, we needed to go on the toll. Even if there was something here, we had to take the chance. But we don't need to move until we get some AP. So immediately in front of me I can see one, a pistol and a flashlight. Well, at the moment, we don't have anything that's working, so we need a workable flashlight. We could just go straight there. And I think I will. If we was to get an axe, I could break that refrigerator down for steel. So what's in there? Clean water, more clean water, very nice. Fresh cheese, that's satiety finally. So everything here is worth checking. I have got 3 planks on me. We can use these as weapons, so I might just pick them up for weapons, and that'll be the door I'll be leaving. So really, I want to search this, go to the left. I will take the pistol. Maybe we'll pick up some ammunition. And if, at the worst, it's an eye trade value if you find a trading house. Oh, I went to the wrong one. It was that one I was supposed to have gone to. Never mind. Wasted a little bit of AP. Another full bottle. So we've got about 3 days water on us at the moment. What have we found there? Bone glue is actually quite a good recipe, so I would like to use that just in case I get the repair kit recipe. So yeah, 3 full bottles, and we've got some water there to drink. Cheese, what do I need? That will perk my morale up and give me satiety, so I just eat it straight away. And let's go over here and pick this plank up. Now, we don't have the massive amount of bags at the moment, but we do have fairly high strength on this one. Strength 3. So it does help out with the carry capacity. We could break these down. That will save us 1 kilo. And the reason I want to break it down is because each of these gives us an electronic part. If we was to find batteries, we can make a makeshift lighter. That's one of the conditions to making food. Or boiling water. But at the moment in this run, we don't need to worry about boiling water. We've got quite lucky with the water. I'm not going to go for the door until I get more AP. And again, the one thing you need to make sure you zero at your counts or your zombies. Now, I could secure this, but it has got broken windows. So it's not the best. Could cover that up. So there is a zombie there. I want him to move off that tile. And there's ammunition. We picked up the gun. We've got some bullets now. And a map fragment. So at the moment, you can get up to me, but you can't hit me. So I think I'm going to have to secure this because it's 5 o'clock. In 3 hours it's dark. And there's no guarantee the next tile I go to is going to be an house. So I'm going to move back down here a second. Actually, I haven't got any rags yet, so I can't cover windows. So I need to stay up in this corner tonight. But we have got a couple of zone points out. But unfortunately, none of them's in the direction I want. I want north. I want to keep going north. So this guy will come up to my face next turn. Now, we can't kill him. But we've got 2 ways we can do. We can take his legs out so he can only move 1. Or we could take his body out so he can't hit us at all. So we'll be using some of these planks I've got. What's the pliers going to do? 2.1, perfect. And I'm going to use a plank on your legs as well. So now he's just an headstock on the floor. He can't move anywhere. He can't attack. He can't do anything. So that's good for us. We've got loads of AP at the moment, but unfortunately, another stone. But we've got no rags. We could break down all the clothing we've got. Get us 2 rags. Convert that. What would I need for the stone hammer? 1 plank, which I've got. I would need 12 thread, so I would have to break down 2 cloth. I think it might be worth sacrificing everything we've got for it. Let's get the map fragment first. So what have we learned? 2 railroads, 4 houses, pharmacy, church, gas station, 2 restaurants, hardware store, park. Normally park is very crucial in these sort of runs because it's a way of getting dirty water. And then if you've got the way of cooking it, turn it into clean. But we've picked up a good amount of clean water. So I'm going to keep that in there. Let's have a look at the map. It's actually quite lucky for us. It's actually give us on our way. So we know the railroad comes somewhere along here. Now, if it comes along here, then it will go somewhere up the north. And then we'll have another route up this way. So we know at some point we've got to cross the railroad. Maybe after the next tile. Railroads are a bit hit and miss. The park is right next to the dangerous place. But like I said, we don't need it. If we can get to that railroad, that gas station, then we've got 3 houses on a run either way. Then that takes us about 2/3 of the way up the map. And then we've just got to hope Terminus is this side. That's very, very good. You don't always get lucky with the site that way. Talking about lucky, we're not exactly lucky there because I would have to be 1.1. I need to stop you from hitting the window. Actually, I don't think you can hit the window on this turn. So yeah, I am going to search that. Take the ammo. You never know when we're going to use that pistol. We will pick the steel on the way out. And now we've got a northern exit. So we've got the link to the railroad. So as much as it's a railroad, that is the best route. We could be on day 2 of this run, halfway up into the map, without a car. That's unheard of. Especially for me. 11.5, that'll be 19.2, so I don't need to do anything with that. But keep drinking the water, you don't need to skimp on it. We've got 3 full bottles still. We can use that for... yeah, just get our satiety up max. And we're still low on the AP, 1.1. So yeah, I think I'm just going to pass the turn. Let him come up to the window. Next... okay, he could hit the window. I didn't think he could. I don't want him to break it, so we want to take you out. So we can't take your head out. We need to take your body and your legs out. No, we don't have a spear. We need to craft a spear on the first night in case we come across. Actually, I need that plank. Because I need it for the hammer. But the problem is I can't go out and get that stone now because he's blocking up the window. Actually, no. And I can't pick his head up. Because we got no cloth. I could just use a gun. We know there's nobody in the south. Would be a 70% chance to take your body out? Have we got to that point already? The knife won't take you out, and I'm pretty certain the pliers would be at least 2, maybe 3. But yeah, I was hoping to get that stone. The only way I'm going to get the stone is run all the way around here in the dark, go and collect it, come all the way back in, and hope nobody sees me. And we need to take your legs out as well. 2.7 minimum. I'm going to stick with the pliers. I've got enough AP to react. Close the window. We know there's an edge somewhere down here which we left. Do we even have a torch? I don't think. We do have a torch that can be used 7 times. It's a very risky situation to do this. But I think it might be payoff. I'll go up to the window just so I get visibility in the daylight. There's nobody. 3.2 to get there, but it would give me nothing to react, so I'm going to stop where I am. But we know there's no zombies down the left-hand side, so I'm going to take that risk. We know there's a zombie there, but that's the one we knew about. And we know there's a zombie at the top up here, because we're just hearing the mowing. But that's fine, we can get into the window. We're not worried if this window breaks. But I'm closing it just to slow him down. Same with this, and that zombie we already know, and that zombie we know can't do anything to us. So for us to craft the hammer, getting an hammer early is really important. I would just need 12 thread, 1 tape or 2 wires. Now, we can get wires from a railway track, but I want to try and make this tonight. So that means I will have to break down all the clothing I've found so far. Not going to break down the gloves, because those are more important. And we might be a bit cold on the next day. Now, we are up in the corner, so this window, people shouldn't see me, and this window, people shouldn't see me. But normally, I would like to cover them. And then we need to break these into thread. And I can make a stone hammer. So I've got 2 things I can make tonight. Unfortunately, I've got no crafting gloves. But those are damage gloves so that we can do more damage if we put them on, if I can keep remembering. I also think I want to break down the broken one. Just keep our weight low. Because that's not broken, if I find some batteries, I can just chuck it into there. But it's only going to give 2 turns. That's a brightness 3 for 7. I think I'm just going to get rid of that. Is this broke? No, we can have that for morale. We can just use that 8 times. That's actually quite good. Okay, let's get our water topped up. And then, because we're deck 0, this is going to be a very poor hammer. I think it lasts about 10 items you can do. I think it's about 10% condition you lose for repairing a door and a window. Now, we have no blankets, we have no pillars, and we have no sofa. So, we're going to get about 3 energy for 1 turn passing. And we don't have any sort of alarm clock or digital watch. So, we can't set the alarm. So at the moment we need 20, so it's going to take us about 7 hours to replenish our energy up to full, which will put us about 5 o'clock in the morning. Knowing that, I think I do need to make the hammer first. Make the hammer, hopefully it's done the next turn, and then sleep at the end of 11 o'clock. I would have... actually, I'm going to have to go 1 more hour, even if you have to have a little bit of a lie-in the morning. And then whatever AP I've got left goes into the spear. But we need to sleep. I don't think we're going to get up until 7. But we needed that hammer. That's crucial. Now, we have used all our planks. So picking up planks is going to become now a priority. So, yeah, exactly like I thought. It was actually 8 o'clock we got up. I thought it was running 7. That's a little annoying. That's a little bit more sleep than I really wanted. We do have some things down here we could learn on the following day, especially fast to learn. It might be useful, but I've picked them up more for the quests, if we get any quests from the trading houses, if we can find one. We know that Ed's out there, so it means, actually, I've got to come out this way. There's a zombie down there, so let's go to that square. I've got some AP to react. We don't want to wake that guy up. I can get there for 4 and I can zone. So if as long as I've got 12 on the next turn and this guy can't get to me, I'm going to stay where I am. Now, we know we can get through for 12, but I am going to stop off for that steel. It probably will wake this guy. Okay, didn't wake him. I was surprised by that. And we can zone. So we want to announce, and we've got to level up. So familiar hunger can be useful because at the moment we haven't got much food. Losing 0.9 instead of 1 per turn soon adds up. Intuition, because we haven't got... We've got a torch. But because we haven't got cat eyes, we haven't got the visibility at the night, so that will cut down some of the negative penalties we got. But I think at this point, just more attack damage is going to be better. And again, just to make sure, 0 zombie kills. That's crucial for this achievement we're going for. Okay, there is a zombie there that can get to me on this turn. So I think I want to move up to that square. Okay, he did see me. I was hoping he didn't. Let's have a look. We've still got no food and water. Well, we've got water. We haven't got food. And we need to find some clothing on this day as well, because we had to strip all ours down on the previous. So let's get some AP back. We'll be on 15.2 going into the next turn. One of the most crucial things we need is food. Now, we know this is going to lead onto a railway tile, so we need to be leaving off here fairly soon if we can't leave off here quick, because we've got 2 special tiles we've got to go past, we probably have to keep at this house. But again, we haven't got to go down that route yet. We can just take your legs out, just so you don't keep following us. He can only go 1 tile now. And we just need to get visibility and get in the building. So we're in the building now. So what's in there? Fresh tomato. That's food and water. And we're going to eat it straight away. And it's going to give us some morale as well. There's nothing else in this room. There's a door going in the room in the south. There's a door there that could lead outside. And again, we do want to try and uncover this to make sure there's no cars, no crops on the... I'm actually more interested in crops than cars in this run, funny enough. Now, we'll be on 16.7 going into the next turn, so I'm happy to just stay where I am. That's not what I want to see, a strong zombie and a soldier zombie in the same room. So let's just close the door on you. Let's go out the other door. Now, that door's definitely going to lead up to the north, so this might lead into another room. It does. It's just a crawler, but that's fine. Let's close that door. We can deal with you by just taking out your body, and you can't do anything. So what have we got? Denim jacket, that's fine. Soft drink, that's food and cetacean. Antibiotics and a blanket, very nice. That's going to give our sleep quality. And rubbing alcohol can be used to make bandages, and tape can be used to make a lot of recipes. Even makeshift armour, which in this run, makeshift armour can save you from dying. So I just stayed where I was because I want this guy to move off that tile he was on. A part of me don't want to commit to stopping here for the night, knowing them 2 big guys are here. But being on a railroad at night is not good. We do want to pick up that steel as well. So how many steel are we up to? 3 already? That's nice. And we do need to make sure we can get off this square, because this guy can still get to me. So I think in this case, I might just take your body out. And we've picked up nothing else. We're not going to use the axe for any combat. I'd rather use the knife if that comes to it. Which I will use the knife. He's just stuck an head there. Just block up the window, but we've got the door and the window down here to get through. And we want those antibiotics and blankets. If we get a disease, it can kill us. So we picked up a good amount. I will be using denim jackets. 1, it gives temperature. 2, it gives defense. And 3, for some reason, denim jackets only come in very high durability. So we'll wear them. We could put that on as well. That gives us 1.1 defense. So yeah, having defense could save you from dying if you do get it. We can get our morale back by that, which might be a good use of the AP. That's fine. We're up to 22. And I'll be on 18.3 AP, so I'll just stop where I am. Now, we know those guys should be in the top room by now, so we could probably come in here and loot this. I think I'm just going to make a risk and go north, as long as there's nothing in here. Sling bag and a fanny pack. How's our bags looking? Well, the tote bag's already full, so we could do with another bag. And I could really do with that plank as well. But I'm not going to be toying with you. We could actually go there and still leave. It's a little more risky, but I do need planks as backup weapons, and also we'll close the door just to slow this guy down a little, and we'll make our way to the door up there. We are getting a little visibility walking past everything, and we know we want to exit onto the railroad. Not too bad. It's only 2 o'clock in the afternoon. If we can just run through the railway tile and then run away, we have got pliers to get through it fairly quick, and then run through the next zone we know are on houses. You can find cars on railway tiles, so don't always ignore them. They can be very useful. That's very nice. I just needed to make sure there was nobody about, which they're not. And next turn we can be on by 3 o'clock in the afternoon onto a railway tile. And we do have fairly good conditions still on them pliers. So immediately in front of me, I've got a zombie over here that can't get to me. Another piece of stone. Now, because I've already crafted a stone axe, I'm not going to run after that. I'm going to wait for AP. Let's get some water in us. Actually, before I do water, let's take the soft drink. Maxes the morale to give us more AP. And gives us a little bit of satiety. Again, we've still got 2 days water, so we're good at the moment. I'm going to stay where I am. I could move up to the fence, but I won't overcap my AP, so I'll be on 18.2. I'd rather not people see me in advance. Interact with the fence and cut it with the pliers for 2. And again, you saw the other one was jumping over for 11 point something. Now, we need to get to the gas station, which is that tile up there. So I want to go as far as I can. Get out of the range of this guy as well. Like I said, you can find cars on here, and that's what I didn't want to see. That's going to take us quite a bit of turns to get through. We have nobody that can get to us, except for you. So we'd have to move back 1. We'd have to move back to there. Or we've got to go and aim for somebody. We've got 10 AP, so we can take out somebody's legs fairly easy. But there's no way between these 2 zombies I can't get away from up there. If I take out this guy, I'm going to have to still back up. So it might be worth just going to that tile there. Nobody can get to me. And then the next turn, expect combat. We will be on exactly 20 AP, so that's perfect. Just keep our hydration up high, just in case we get hit. We can heal the HP back faster. Now, my best situation in here would be to get up to the fence and jump it. 3.8. The reason I don't want to cut it is because it will slow the zombies down to get to me. But I could just go and deal with these. 2.6 can... Oh, actually, I haven't crafted the spear yet, have I? I think if I go to there for 3.7, over it, that's about 15. I might have enough to take out whatever this guy is. He can't get to this square, so if I jump over to that square, these will all have to attack the fence. Again, I could easily cut it, but it would give them an easy way over. 4.9. By there, I think I'm just going to stay where I am. We'll be on 17 next turn. I could just quickly take the debris out, but I'm going on to a gas station at night. At least we've got a fence protecting us here from the majority of the people. I'll let him come to me next turn, and then I'll take his legs... I'll take his body out. The reason I'm going for the body, because that means he can't attack me, even if he can move to me. Yeah, just wait a turn. So again, he's taking 3 hits at the fence. So he's doing about 6 damage to that fence a turn. So that's going to last another 6 turns. So it'll only last until about midnight. But we do have a torch as a backup if anybody starts coming near. And we can spend stuff on there. If we can have it clear and go through at 6 o'clock in the morning, that would be the best case scenario. But yeah, let's take this body out. If I use the gun, it's going to attract everybody up here, so I can't. Get one big hit with the knife. Now, he can move, but he can't do any damage to me. Do you want to spend my AP on here? I think I do. Unfortunately, it's going to be like 0.3 for 1 AP. So it does take a long time to get through here. So it'd be about 30 AP I need to spend. But I won't be zoning off this tile unless things get dire. We just got to pay attention to how much damage these are doing to the fence. Because if it gets too bad, I need to move up to the fence, use my torch, and then kill them. Or at least knock the damage down by taking the body out. So yeah, we got through 6, so we need another 20 AP, 21 AP to get through it. And as you see, the zombie to the left of me can come up to me, but he can't attack me because I took his body out. I mean, in theory, in real life, they could headbutt you still. But it doesn't work that way in this game. Now, I have a trick for doing the energy, but I need to clear this out before I use it. Let's just pass the turn. We will start taking cetacean damage. So both, the one on the left is only doing about 1.5, the one on the right's doing 1.5 to 2. So if you look at the fences, there's 36 there, 28. Now there's 2 people at this square now, so they will get through it a bit faster. If the zombies was really clever, they would all go onto one tile and then just bang up the one. But it doesn't work that way, but that's good for us. Let's go and clear the rest of this debris. And we got 0.2 remaining, so 1 AP on the next turn. But I want to make sure I'm drinking water. We're going to start taking satiety damage on the HP soon. So we need to make sure that that water's full at all times. It might actually be worth putting AP into that spear, so I've got a spear to be hitting things with as well. So we did 3 hits of 1.3 on the left fence, and then 1 at 3.9. So about 7 damage. So that's going to last about another 3 turns, and then I'll have to go down for combat. So first thing, let's clear this. If things get too bad, like I said, I will just zone out. That's why I'm standing on the zone point. Stop anybody else from zoning in. And then I think I haven't got crafting gloves, so I think I am going to put that into a spear because I've got a feeling I'm going to be needing that. Now, if we've got any drugs for morale, it might be worth taking it. There is some wire on the ground. When we broke through the fence, we could have done with picking that up because it was an option. Now, I'm not going to do anything else with the AP. And it will become clear in 2 turns' time why. So again, can't do anything for satiety. And that's an energy drug. We could actually take the energy drug. Actually, I will take the energy drug. I did forget I thought it was a morale drug we had on us. So it will stop our energy from going down for the next 3 turns. But we've got a way of really perking that up. So I haven't got to sleep. So on this turn, let's just pass it. So now there's more at the fence because there's 2 on the left and 2 on the right. And you'll see that one that's on the right is now... Oh, somebody else has come up to me now. So this turn, there is at least 2 here and there's a big zombie. It's probably a mighty one. He's broken the fence. So we've got combat on this turn. I would like to have been at 20 AP. We need to use that torch. So you was the first one that hit me. I need to get you out of the picture. So yeah, pliers can just take you out. This guy's got through. So I need to come and take you out for 5.4. Just leave his head on that spot. Two hits with this possibly could take it out. Guaranteed now. Now, you could move up to me, but you can't attack me. You can, and I don't think my spear can reach that far. No, I need him to be closer. So I need to go back onto that zone point there. And pass the turn, and I'm going to have to use the torch the next turn. Now, these are 2 big zombies. I should have looked at them on this turn. Perfect. That's where I want it to happen. Decayed, I have to hit at a diagonal, and where he's finished is at a diagonal. So while I'm here, let's have a look what these guys are. So you're fairly strong. I just need to take your body out. And this is why I wanted the spear crafted. And then these two here will break for the fence on the next turn because it's only got 5 HP. They'll probably get a hit on me, hence why I've got the defense on me with the gear. Now, any extra AP I've got on this turn, I could go and spend on crafting or whatever. But if I don't spend it, it's going to convert into 2.1 into energy. With the drugs we're currently using, that will allow the energy to cap up. So that means I haven't got to sleep on the next day. So that was the trick to getting for this. At the moment round me, these have come through the fence now. But I can't reach them until they get to this tile, so I'm going to have to take the hits off them, and hopefully I'll survive. The two on this side can't attack me, he can't attack me, and he can't attack me. And these two here could, but then I'll have 3 on that square, and only 1 more zombie could zone onto that square. There's only a maximum of 4 zombies on a tile, and they can't jump over zombies. So you can use that to your advantage. So again, I'm not going to spend my AP. You can use it. I think the AP, some zombies can use it to avoid. I think we can avoid some zombies with it. But I'm going to be getting 2.3 again this turn with the weak vitamins. So that'll be up to like 14.8 next turn. So then that gives me 14 hours before I have to sleep. And that's what I'm relying on at the moment. So do nothing, just pass the turn. Should have done with eating. Okay, we've got a couple of attacks on us. We knew this was going to happen. The main thing is they don't give us a bleed. Now, because we're going to have to do combat, we've got to use the torch again. And if we want to get our morale up, we can just use the MP3 with some of the AP. So now there's 4 on that square. Nobody else can come and zone on that square. They can on this square. So as long as I can take the 2 out that's doing... There's actually 3 there that's doing damage. This can do a minimum of 2.6, so it can easily take your body out. You can't hit me now. And I am... Even if I use a gun here, it doesn't really matter. That's got a chance of taking you out in 1. It hasn't. So let's switch back to the pliers. I don't want to break the pliers because I have got more railway tiles we'll have to go on to. And we've got plenty of AP, so I'm willing to spend that on there. So these 4 here can't attack me. They're all on that tile and nobody else can zone onto that tile. So if somebody else wants to come, they'd either have to attack that fence or come through there. And I just want to make sure, yeah, everybody's got 0 attack. And then you've got 1 over here with 0 attack. So again, this is a situation you don't want to be in this run, because normally you would kill the head, the zombie would disappear, you could walk out that way. Unless I had cloth, take out the body, take out the legs, and then pick up the head, I'm trapped on this square. So this is why having cloths are crucial in this run, and unfortunately I haven't got it. And if I have to, I will break down bags, blankets, and whatever else. So we can actually put that bag on now. I am going to end up breaking that bag down. I'm never going to use the fanny packs. They're just not worth it. It turns 2 kilo into 1 kilo, but adds encumbrance. Just not really that great. And then this time I will gain some energy, but not as much, because I need to gain my AP first. And it's only the excess AP that converts over. But the good thing is, we are gaining health, so that 19.9 will turn to 20 next turn. And all we've got to do is put up with this for 3 more turns. Now, a zombie's just come up there. I don't know what he is, but I can't get to him. I've got to wait for him to come on this square for me to attack him. And I've just got to hope he isn't strong enough to take me out. And again, at this point, I could zone, but I am fairly secure on at least 2 fronts. It's just him over here, I don't know. I could put the torch on, but I want to put the torch on when I'm doing combat, and I can't on this turn. I could use the gun if I'd have thought. Just shot him with a gun. Now, he did come on the tile next to me. So we'll put on the torch again. We've got 3 more turns after this. And then we're going to do the same. Just take out his body. That's all I'm interested in. Now, this spear is not doing great. I think at this point I am tempted to just shoot him. 100% hit chance, and it's going... Well, it's got a very high chance of taking him out, and I think that's the way to do it. Even if it attracts more zombies, I'll be off the tile in 2 hours. And again, because it's converting my excess AP, I will now gain an extra 1 energy this turn, instead of losing 1 energy. So let's just pass the turn. I don't need to use my torch again. Okay, we did attract another big zombie. He got 3 attacks at 2.5. And this is the one thing about the guns, but I know I'm going to be leaving off the tile at the end of the next turn. So this guy did about 7 damage to this. He's still got 46, so he's not going to get to me. And the ones down here have got to get for that fence, walk over before they can get to me. So I'm happy where I am at the moment. Just want to keep that hydration up just to keep my health ticking up. I am going to be losing health just because of my satiety. But if we can minimise the damage, and we haven't picked up health drugs yet. So next turn we will be zoning off here. He got 8 attacks in that time at 2.5, so he did about 20 damage to the fence. So we'll see in the light the next turn. And you can tell how many zombies are on the map by how long the zombie's turn is. So this guy here can't go anywhere because of these guys blocking it. If he had his sense and gone here, he could have probably come up and attacked me. And this guy here was a zombie runner, hence why he had so many attacks. He's got 8.9 actions at 2 point damage. Up to 2.7 damage. So yeah, very, very dangerous, the zombie runners. But that's not my problem. I'm off the zone with a good amount of AP. Now, I would like to pick up the cloth, but I need to pay attention to these two in front of me. I'm going to stand on the zone point for 1 turn because we know there's a lot of zombies behind us. And there's no point in turning gas pumps on or doing generators. We just need to get to either house. Probably that house is the easier one. 10 to get to there, 8 to get to there. But I don't need to rush moving. He's the problem. I could easily take his body out and back up. But I could just stay where I am and he can't get to me. And it will convert a bit more over to energy. Now, it was a bit laggy there when he moved, so I've got a feeling there could be a good number of zombies on this tile. Didn't have much on there, but again, we are only going to be breaking these down. That's why I just picked them up. Neither of you can get to that tile, so let me come over here. You, again, it's pointless searching there, it's pointless searching the building. Just need to make sure nobody can get to me. You could get to the zone square, that's what I'm worried about. So we're just going to take your body out, and I'm not going to use the pistol. I'm going to stay where I am. Hopefully this thing blocks him, and I just hope neither one of these, well, especially him, can't block up the zone point. And then next turn I can zone through if that's the case. Perfect. He didn't move, he didn't see me. And now I can zone through. And now we're on a tile, we can start searching again. Our sleep's pretty good for another 17 hours before I need to sleep. So that's perfect for tonight's night cycle. And again, we've used the game mechanics to our favour. I will lose a bit of AP, so I'm just going to move up to the door just to get a bit more visibility. We need food, and we need it fast. That's locked, so I can't get in there. So let's move up to that corner, get some visibility. I can get for the window. I've got quite a lot of AP, so I'm okay doing this. Rain collector, okay for dirty water, but there's nothing in there. If it starts to rain when I'm on the tile, I might be able to collect it. But I'm definitely going to be collecting this wood, because those are going to be weapons. Okay, here's a couple of zombies here, which I would rather not be. You've got a massive movement, and so have you. So I think in this case, I need to see what your movement is outside the door. So you can't get to either one of these, this square or this square. What about you? You, a lot. So I need to get to that square, I think. But a way to slow him down. Move there, close the door. I'll still move to that same square it told me you can't get to. And they've got a battle on that door. And it will attract them out of this room so I can come up for the back and search it. And I don't plan on stopping the night here. And we have another house up at the top there. That's about our zone point. If things get too airy on a tile, we can easily just move off. Now we've got two with fairly decent movement over there. He's the one I'm worried about because he could block up the door. So I might have to go over and take his body out. Actually, I'll have to take his legs out as well so he can't move. Because he could have come up to the tile. He can actually get to me now. So I could go and take him, but I know there's another big guy over by this door. Another pair of pliers would be good. Thread would be good. I'm just worried about his movement. I think I'm going to have to move there and just hope nobody can get to me. Sometimes you just have to know what loot to take and what loot to just say no. It's not worth the risk. Clean water, fresh carrots. I'm definitely going to be taking that. What's up here? Canned beans cooking pamphlet. Canned beans is a very, very good item. Definitely going to be taking that. What are the movements? Neither one of you can get into the building I'm in now. You could overhear us. So I'm just going to go to that tile. Hopefully I don't give visibility of the one that was in this building. And now we've got food. I'm just going to eat it because we're taking damage. Even though I could craft some good meals out of that, we haven't got the cooking pot. We haven't got a lighter. If worse comes to happen, I have got a gun. I could shoot a gun and sort of attract people down here and then run round the other way to get away from them. But let's get some AP and then I want to go in the room to the north. I'm going to call this room in the south here. It's not worth the hassle. That's not worth the hassle. Tote bag, jacket, no. Let's just go on the corner. Got a big zombie that can get to me and he can get to the zone point. So I'll just move out of his way. Best case scenario, he walks towards me and I can just run round him and go straight to the zone point. 5 to there, 8 to get through. I couldn't get through on this turn, but I could always back up to that spot if I need to, if it's too many big guys over here. There's one guy that can't hit me, so that's perfect. And again, unfortunately, there was a rag there what could have been extremely good for us. We're down to 1. Beer and a gas lighter. We said we haven't got any way to cook. But is it worth taking out all these big zombies? I mean, I could potentially, on the next turn, do a dive in the door, get the chest, and then dive out. It would give me a way to cook, but the thing is I've got nothing to cook. Weigh up your risks, and I don't think that risk is going to be worth it. The next house could have better, could have less zombies. So yeah, I think I am just going to go through. So I'll be on 19.5, so I'm good. And we are starting to heal health back now. That's the most important. So I've got no way to get it back with drugs at the moment. Like I said, that still is an option. 3.4 to there. Then I would have to get 3 tiles, which is 2.7, which would be 6.1, 2 to search, and then I would have to go back. So I could get back to this spot, and it would be safe from this guy, but not this guy. So yeah, just cut my losses, keep moving north. And it's a fortified house. Well, we have been keeping some stuff for trading. Big zombie over there at the moment. I want to get out of range of him. Is it worth going to pick up the stone? Not really. I've still got my hammer. And the only way to get the fortified house to attack is to attack them first. There is a door here. So let's see what we can do. So the first thing you want to do is look at the quest. Maybe it's something we can trade them. And get some rep, so we could get some good items from rep. So the 4 bedding items, I know I haven't got that. And I think I've only got the 1 bag. And the 3 bags. So let's just have a look at our inventory. We've got 2 bags. So the third one, I've broke them down. And we've only got 1 blanket. So neither one of them quests I can do. So we can't request help, so we'll do the trading option. Shovel would be absolutely fantastic to get hold of. Because if we go up to Terminus, which we are going to head towards, if we come across a tunnel tile, without a shovel, it's just going to take an impossible amount of AP. So we want to be trading some of these books. I mean, it's a fast learner book. It'd be great, but it's better for me to trade them. These are all low. That's a medium. Although I can make a bandage, I still think I want to trade as much as I can out. Low, low. That's a medium. Would it be worth giving the gun away? It could save our life. We could make it work with the antibiotics, so we are not that far. Pliers I don't want to give away. What about an MP3? Actually, you will accept that. We could probably chuck some steel in there. We could probably chuck a novel. Well, we haven't got a good way to do morale at the moment. We're never going to get the food because I'm all high and very high. We're never going to do the drugs because I'm overwhelmingly high. And that has no charges on it, so it's pointless us getting it. I think that's about the best trade we're going to do. We might be able to get the scrap metal if we can chuck like a cooking pamphlet in. Meat pie, we've got a lot of options for. I think we'd have to have dough for that. So yeah, I'm doing do that. 2 books again. We're not going to be ever use the head strike, and I'm a little iffy about giving up the fast learner. But again, I don't think we're going to be in this run long enough to do that. Rubbing alcohol again could make a bandage, and that's a good way for morale. But we just swapped it for another way. That's only got 6 turns on it. That I can get a bit more use than I could ever get out of that. So yeah, but I'm more interested in the shovel we've got. Now we can clear blockages super fast. One thing I didn't pay attention to is what was the condition on it. 70% medium, that's really good. We will be doing a trading house run. And again, there is some tricks and tips you can do, like with food, growing crops, harvesting crops, making extra food than you ever need, fishing for food, and then selling that to the fortified house, and you can get a lot of rep that way. 100 rep is still a lot to get hold of, but there is ways to get around it. I think I'm going to stop on the square I am. Actually, no, I'm going to move there. The reasons being is I do not want to have a zombie come here and a zombie come here and me being blocked. Now, we do have access to a second tile, so what's that? It would be the park. Oh, no, that's the house. Oh, no, that one we don't know about. That's it. That's the one we're supposed to be leaving through. So there is a zombie down there. It's going to take him ages to get to me. We need to move through, I think. We are depressed, so before we go through, we need to do something for morale. Well, fortunate enough, we just picked up a book to deal with that, so that gets rid of the depression. Now, we do have some extra gear to break down on the night. We are at 1.3, a little higher than I want. We could dump 1 plank, but again, we could just use that as a weapon. If I can get away without crafting another spear, I will. I think I'm okay with that. It's just because we haven't got great bags. We haven't got a backpack. If we had found a backpack, that might have been easier. And we'll just wait till next turn. We'll be on 18.7 and then we'll zone. We do know it's an house. So we are going to hopefully try to get this secured by the night. And I think this is a great place to call it. We've just got over that very tricky railway tile. We've shown off some new tricks. And now we've got an house where we should be able to bed down for the night. That's all going to be in the next episode. Hopefully you've enjoyed this one. And don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you are enjoying the content. And I'll be seeing you all again next week. Thank you very much for watching.